right, we are live. Good to see everybody. It's Andrew back again. We got another live unboxing, the Alienware 16 Area-51 laptop, gaming laptop. And this is one that I've been highly anticipating coming into the studio. Now, they also make an 18-inch version of this as well. Hopefully, we'll be getting that as well soon. So stay tuned, that is coming. But first up is this 16-inch that you can see here, running the Intel Arrow Lake HX processor, the Intel Core Ultra, the Ultra 9 275HX with the NVIDIA RTX 5080 GPU. This is a redesign. This is something pretty unique in a lot of ways in terms of the design. And I actually took it out of the box, disclaimer, to get everything set up so we don't have to waste time today in terms of downloads and all that. I did as best as I could today. So you might see a few fingerprints on it, but I got to tell you, the design is pretty gorgeous. I actually like the design quite a bit. The Alienware Area-51 laptop here is not the cheapest thing out there, but of course, Alienware are more for enthusiasts, I think, and people are willing to pay the price because of what they're getting in terms of gaming and stuff like that. The little things actually make it really good. And the videos do very well on my channel. I did the Alienware Area-51 Tower, that monster, that behemoth, and that did pretty well. So I'm hoping this will be the same here for the laptop. So I will say welcome to everybody. It is a holiday weekend here in the US. It is Memorial Day weekend. So hopefully everybody's having good weather and having a good time if you're in the US celebrating Memorial Day on Monday. So let's get right to it. We have, we have about 30, 40 people already. Again, people will start to file into the studio here or file into the live stream studio. I'm here alone. But yeah, this is pretty good. Good to see Raphael. Good to see William here. Two moderators, two friends of the channel. So we do appreciate that as always. Hello to Not Hansen. Okay. Finally, Siraj, right? Yeah, we got it here. Let's get the specs onto the screen here and we can get rocking and rolling. So that is what we want to do. So let me pause it here to show you a little bit on the first panel here. We're looking at the Alienware 16 Area-51 gaming laptop. So this is running the Intel Core Ultra 9 275HX. It's got a 16-inch QHD Plus display, Comfort View display, which has full coverage of the DCI-P3, 3 millisecond response time, 240 hertz refresh rate, NVIDIA G-Sync, Advanced Optimus, also has a 4K camera. We'll look at that. This is, of course, an IPS display, which is fine with me because I already took a look at the display. It looks pretty good. You got the NVIDIA RTX 5080 GPU, 16 gigabytes of GDDR7 video memory, 32 gigabytes of memory, 216 gigabytes, 6 of DDR5 memory, 6400 megatransfers per second. This, of course, is upgradable by the user. So two 16 gigabyte sticks on this unit, 1 terabyte NVMe. Okay, NVMe Gen 4 M.2, 1 terabyte. And then, of course, a 6-cell 96-watt-hour battery, Wi-Fi 7. It's killer Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4. So far, so good in terms of the specs. And we will get to the next panel here. And this, of course, is not the lightest thing out there for a 16-inch, that's for sure. It's coming in at almost 7.5 pounds, 7.49 pounds, or 3.4 kilograms. The 360-watt power adapter, which I'll show you in a moment, 2.2 pounds, or 1 kilogram on its own. So definitely, it's not the biggest power brick. It's pretty compact for a 360-watt power adapter. So we'll take a look at that, but it still weighs a kilogram, according to this. And then the camera is an 8-megapixel UHD HDR IR camera, 3840 by 2160 resolution. And that is pretty nice, supposedly. We'll take a look at it. The color is going to be gorgeous, people. I really like it. It's the liquid teal. We'll take a look at that. So audio, I didn't get a chance to really test out, so we'll do that together. Woofers, two 2-watt woofers for a total of 4 watts, 2 2-watt tweeters for a total of 4 watts, 8 watts in total. Should be pretty good, hopefully, for a gaming laptop. Windows 11 home, and then the ports we'll get into when we get it out of the box, but you can take a gander at it right there. Now, there is a choice of keyboards. I have the Cherry MX switches on this one, as this will turn over in a moment. Yeah, so you can go with the Cherry MX Ultra Low Profile, or you can just go with the standard Alien FX RGB lighting keyboard. And here is the price, $3249.99. And that, of course, is with the 5080, but you can go up to a 5090, which is going to be more money. We'll take a look at pricing, of course, and everything in the review coming up. But overall, that is the Alienware Area-51, the 16-inch gaming laptop. So that is what you can expect in terms of the specs. All right, so, well, there's nothing left to talk about. Let's just get it out of the box. What do you say? Let's do it. So let's do the top down here. Let's get my knife ready, and let's get it out of the box. That's a fake cut because I did already cut it open, but I have to do it for dramatic effect. What can I tell you? All right, let's open this up. And there it is. So I try to put it back as best as possible. I think I did it upside down. All right, pretty nice packaging. It says, "Be more alien." Okay, you can see it there. Be more alien. All right. And of course, we have the unit itself and this really nice packing here. It's very protective. You can actually see it there. I actually like this. I hope I put it back the right way when I took it out. But anyway, it gives you the idea. We get some documentation from Alienware, some Alienware stickers here. Some people still appreciate those kind of things. And then, of course, a little history from Alienware. You can pause it there. Since 1996, I think they started out in Miami. And they've been driving the evolution of PC gaming, according to this. You can pause that right there, and you can see what that says. Okay. And then let's put it back into its sleeve there. And then we're going to get the rest out here. So let's see the power charger. Now, I already have the plugged in, that part, but this is the charger itself that weighs, yeah, it's got some heft to it. 360 watts for the charger, and it's a barrel pin connection, no doubt. Of course, there you can see the Alienware logo. So we're going to need that. Let's put that over there. And that's pretty much it. The power cord I already have plugged in, so I'm ready to go. It's a standard Mickey Mouse ears type power plug. And that's it. So pretty nice packaging from Alienware. We'll put the charger to the side for the moment. Okay. And then we have this, which is the unit itself. Now, really, really nice packaging here, right? So let's open this up and let's get this out. And again, in that beautiful teal color. And there it is. Oh, wow. She is beautiful. Really gorgeous color. Oh, wow. What do you think? Let me know if you like this. I think it looks pretty darn gorgeous. You can see it here. This is what it looks like. And then this is the bottom of the unit. So this has that mirror there. Let me clean it up a little bit. Again, I did set things up, so it is going to have some fingerprints. Let me wipe that down. But it does have a Gorilla Glass mirror window into the unit itself. You can see it there. We'll see how that's all going to function. I don't know if it's form of a function. We'll see, but apparently they have a redesigned cooling system here. And then, of course, let's do the you-know-what. Let's see if we can do it, and we can. Cherry MX switches here. Color looks gorgeous, William. And, of course, the logo lights up on the back, as you see there. And this is the display. Again, 2.5K resolution, 2560 by 1600, 240 hertz refresh rate, 3 millisecond response time. Pretty awesome. Now, it goes back as far as you see there. It is has a anti-gloss or anti-reflective display. So it is pretty matte finish. And I do have a lot of lights here, so just keep that in mind. Now, on the back, you can probably see it here. You get that little accent lighting there in the beautiful teal color or the bluish color. And then, of course, you have the ports on the back there. You can see there. We'll get into the ports. In fact, let's look at the ports right now. So all of them, for the exception of this one or these two right here. So this is a micro SD card reader. Let me try to move it over here to give you a better look. If I can get it into focus there. Micro SD, full size SD card reader. What am I saying? Full size. I'm so used to saying micro. And a headphone jack, 3.5 millimeter microphone headphone combo jack. And then On the right side, nothing, although you do see some lighting peeking through there and some venting. And then on the back is where the fun is, right? So you get HDMI right there. You get your proprietary power port, HDMI, 2 Thunderbolt 5 ports, which is great to see Thunderbolt 5. You get a USB-A. You get 1, 2, 3 of them. So 3 USB-A ports. So plenty of I/O on this unit, and I think that's it. So you can get a look at it right there. All on the back, out of the way. So if you use a gaming mouse, connected wired, the wire won't be in the way. So everything's blowing away from the user. And I kind of like it. I like it in the back. I know that Legion that I'm going to show you in a couple of days is going to have it moved from the back to the sides. I don't know if it's a controversial move, but let me know what you think. But these are the ports on the unit. Now, before we take a more deeper look into this, let's bring out the scale and let's get a measurement of the weight. So let's put it into kilograms here. So with just a unit alone, let me move this over there. Let's just try to get it to 0. Let me bring it down a little bit. Sorry. Just trying to line it up correctly. And with just the unit alone, 3.282 kilograms, and that is 7 pounds, 3.8 ounces. Let me move it back a little bit so you can see. So 7.38 ounces, and again, back into kilograms, 3.283 kilograms. And that is for just the unit alone. So it's got some heft to it. And then the 360 watt power charger. I'm not going to put the power cord, it's plugged in, but just add a little bit of weight to that. So this brings it to 4.221 kilograms. And that is, let's see, in pounds, that's going to be 9 pounds, 4.9 ounces. So you're pushing almost 10 pounds with a total travel weight. So, you know, I'm not going to ding them too hard on the weight because a lot of times these kind of laptops will move room to room, not necessarily taking it on the go, although you could. It's definitely portable in a sense, but obviously there is some heft to this. So I'll get to your comments and questions as we have about watching about 80 people watching on both YouTube and on X, formerly known as Twitter. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. It helps get this spread out over YouTube. So, and also please hit the subscribe button as we're making our big push for 250,000. We're halfway there. We're at 224, almost at 224, almost halfway. So let's get there. Let's get to 250 and then go from there. All right. So we did the you-know-what test. That worked. That turns on. Obviously, the laptop is already booted up. And that is some gorgeous wallpaper and a gorgeous laptop so far. All right. So let me plug it in. Let me plug this in. So let me put it on there. And we're going to plug it in to the proprietary port. This is that barrel pin connection. And that goes in right there. Okay. I'm also going to plug it into my dock so you can see what I'm doing when we're testing. So I'll put it into the Thunderbolt 4 port there. So that is what I'm plugged into right there so far. Plenty of I/O, so that's going to be good. And then there you can see the screen right there. We'll get to it in a moment. Let me plug it in. We are ready to rock and roll. We'll also monitor the heat generated to the power port, to the power charger, which you can see right there. So we'll just keep that handy on the side there, and we'll keep periodically checking. That is for the 18, right? 3.2 kilograms. This is the 16. Whatever I measured is what I got here. So that is what we're doing. Definitely not a portable device. Well, you know, it's a pretty powerful gaming laptop, 16-inch. And look, the 18-inch is going to be even higher, or even heavier. All right. So, so I already did a few benchmarks now, but before we do that, I want to show you the Alienware software here. So this is the command center, right? The Alienware command center. And let me put it over here in the performance. So there are different performance modes. If it loads into Sentry, there it is. So we have quiet mode, we've got balance mode, performance mode, and overdrive. I've been using this in overdrive to get a few benchmarks going. And you can actually hear the fans going already. I don't know if you can hear it, but I just want to show you what idling right now in this overdrive mode. And again, most of the time, you're probably not going to be in the overdrive mode. But let me bring out my audio meter here, and let's see and we can give a listen. I'm going to switch microphones so you can get a listen. So that is 65 decibels. Okay, we'll check back in a little bit, but that's idle in the overdrive. But if I put it to performance, let's listen now, and let's bring that back out. And this is balanced, pretty quiet. Again, it's not really doing anything, and then there's the quiet mode. Okay, so let's keep this around as I mentioned, but let's do our first benchmark. Let's put it in. What do you say we put it in performance, and then we'll do overdrive? Okay, so let me bring out Geekbench just to get a quick and dirty look at something here. So right now it's in performance, and let's get this going here. So let that load in, and you can see what I'm doing here. Let's run that. 32 gigabytes of memory here, 216 gigabyte sticks. It also has the Intel Core Ultra 9 275HX, 24 cores according to this. And it should be pretty powerful. We've seen it before. All right, let's get to some of your comments and questions. This is performance mode. We'll put it in overdrive in a moment. Yeah, upgradable RAM in and of itself is a win nowadays. I agree. Blue Streak, Zach Eldine. I'm considering Alienware 51 PC. I'll tell you, that thing is a beast. Behemoth. It's pretty big, though. I got to tell you, it does take up a lot of space. How are you doing, AR Tech Reviews? I'm doing fine. Hope you're doing well. Yep. Hi, Andrew. Will you be the new Razer Blade 1850-90? Yeah, I don't really get anything from Razer anymore. I don't know why, but I'll reach out. We'll see. Hopefully we'll get it. Lovely design from downtown. William says color looks nice. Raphael says it's a pretty laptop. I like the unique color. I really like this color quite a bit. Not too over the top with the RGB. I agree. Lack of a numpad is a win. I agree on that. For this, I do agree. Sometimes I want it, but for this, I can understand the lack of a numpad. It's pretty 50-50, I think. I think the first brand in the world to launch gaming laptop is Dell Alienware. Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Points on the back is nice. Ports on the back are nice. I'm old enough to remember when that was a standard for almost all laptops. I agree. Light compared to laptops I carried during college in late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, this is actually pretty light compared to those. Hello to Shayaresh Anand. It's definitely not a portable device. I agree. 3.2 kilograms. Yeah, it's, beautiful laptop. Not portable. Come on. I move with a M18R1 and it's not a tragedy. I agree. That's a great laptop, by the way. Did very well on my channel late last year. Interesting to see a lit up touchpad. Yeah. Let's take a look at that. So let's take a look at this Cherry MX switches, by the way. And this, by the way, is not hot at all, but we really haven't pushed it all that much as I dropped something, whatever that was. But these are the Cherry MX switches. You can see the two fans obviously peeking through the venting. So this lights up. Yeah, so this lights up. Pretty nice, pretty cool looking design. And you can see this is probably customizable, I'm sure, in the command center, but overall, pretty nice design, in my opinion. So we'll get our first benchmark. And again, this is going to be the performance mode. We'll do the overdrive where it really ramps up the fan. But right now, it's pretty quiet. Hardly hear the fans at all. In fact, I'm not hearing any fans. So there are some variations in the fan noise when you are going to be in the different modes, obviously. Anyone who complains about weight should carry a 1999 Dell Inspiron 7000 with 2 batteries and a late 2003 PowerBook GeForce 17 at the same time, then talk. I agree. And I'm old enough to remember all that. So absolutely, we have come a long way in terms of portability on these laptops, on these notebooks. So especially gaming, they've gotten really thin and light. Although this doesn't try to pretend to be something it's not. It's in your face, but it's not over the top with the lighting, and I like that. PowerBook Duo with batteries also. Yeah, 2 batteries. When you could change out batteries easily, right? Those were the days. Although battery has gotten better, I was hoping to see even more battery advances by now. And we are starting with Lunar Lake and stuff like that, and the Snapdragon X Elite processors and those lines. AMD to some extent, we are seeing more battery. Does this come with any crapware installed? So far, it's not been bad. I haven't seen any McAfee or anything, but we'll keep our eye on that, William. Yeah, times have changed, though I'd say weight here is fine for the target audience. I agree wholeheartedly. 18 inches, almost 5 kilograms. I have one. Yeah, this is a 3.3, more than 3 kilograms on this. We measured it. Just rewind it, and you'll see. So here is the first benchmark we got here. Oh, and it's over 3,000, and you can see it right there. 3,000 for the single core, 3,039, an excellent single core, by the way, and nearly 20,000 on the multi-core. Now, earlier, I did run, and I can show you the result here in the screenshot. I did run this in the performance mode. No, this is the before. I think this is the performance mode. I don't remember. But over 20,000, over 3,000. And then, but again, we can try it with the, in fact, we can do it right now. We can try the, let's move over here and let's go to the performance mode. So this is overdrive. So I'm putting it in overdrive. The fans are going to kick in any moment. Yeah, I already hear it. And let's run it again. So this will give us an idea of the difference between the performance and the overdrive. So we want to see even more performance out of this, hopefully, with all the fans going, maximum fans. Again, you can customize this in the Alienware app or the command center. And let's give a listen to the fans again as they ramp up. So we're seeing about 65 decibels. It should be available soon. So I will put the link to Best Buy. From what I understand, it should be available soon. I have a link. If you follow the link below, there's a link that brings you to the Alienware website where you can pick one up. You can order it. But as soon as I get the Best Buy link, when it's available, I will obviously put it in the link below. I'll link it below in the description. Yeah, it's pretty loud, 65 watts, but no louder than what we've been seeing in the others. But again, I'm in the overdrive mode. This is not something you're going to use, when you're doing everyday tasks. Is this the Dell gaming flagship now? Is that sit on top of the X Series Alienware? Will there be another new X Series? So this would be, I believe, the flagship right now, from what I understand with their roadmap. There will be others, but I think this will be the flagship. My hearing is bad. I think I could hear the Alienware without hearing aids. Without hearing aids. Yeah, this is pretty loud. It's pretty loud, Blue Streak. Tornado inside trademark. It sounds like a spaceship beaming someone. Yeah, Stefan. Yep. So this is in the overdrive. So I just want to make sure you understand when I'm in the other modes, it won't sound like this. But when you're gaming, you want maximum power, you have the option here. And of course, a lot of you are going to use gaming headsets to drown out the sound, noise canceling, and then so there are, obviously this gives you a lot of options is what I'm trying to say. So far the display looks great. I like the fact that it's not glossy at all. So that's great. Very clear, very good clarity. 2.5K resolution, 240 hertz. 3 millisecond response time. So for those gamers out there, this is going to be good. We'll run some 3D Mark benchmarks in a little bit. I already ran the Cinebench 2024, and I got a great result. We'll look at that when we're done with the Geekbench. We're saving some time today. As we have 80 of you watching. So we're gaining a little bit of momentum here, which is good. Don't forget to hit that like button. Let's get this spread out over YouTube. It does me a favor, as we are having tremendous growth here in 2025. So far, I'm really liking this design. This teal color is absolutely gorgeous. We just saw title teal on that Lenovo Yoga Book 9i along those lines, but this is just gorgeous as we get a score here. So we see a little bit. I mean, look, it's over 20,000, 20,414 multi-core. And once again, over single core, over 3,000, 3,088. Let me take my screenshot. I think I forgot to take the other one, but that's okay. I have it recording, so that's good. Those are the numbers. Now, I want to show you the Cinebench 2024 results here. And you can see it here. So I got 2,127 on the single core, on the multi-core rather, and 134 on the single core. So that was pretty good. That is pretty good. So well over 2,000, 2,100 plus 134. So these are scores we want to see. Definitely very, very good. And this is, again, CPU intensive task here, or test, synthetic, of course. And of course, it's testing that Intel Core Ultra 9 275HX. But we want to see the NVIDIA RTX 5080. And let's take a look at what it's being fed. I believe it's 175 watts of juice, TGP. Let's see here. Let's go to the system information. And we're looking at 175 watts. We're looking at dynamic boost. It also has advanced Optimus for those wondering. So that is all there. So let's close that and let's run 3D Mark. And we're going to keep it in the very loud, I will say very loud, overdrive mode. Why not? I mean, my microphone should be drowning it out, but just for those that want to hear what it sounds like right now, this is what it sounds like. And it's been consistently 65 decibels in that mode. Right now, this is, by the way, not hot at all. So far, the 360 watts is more than adequate for what we've been doing. But let's work the GPU here, okay? So let's go to the benchmarks. Let's go to Time Spy. Let's run this sucker. It is a great looking PC, I will say that. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. Like I said earlier, if you're joining us late, this is the Alienware Area-51. This is the 16-inch gaming laptop, brand new for 2025. It should be coming to Best Buy very soon. As soon as I get that link, I will link it in the description below. There is a link already to the Alienware website for a version of this, so check it out. Go over there, order it if you are interested. And of course, I do get a small commission. It is affiliate link, but it certainly helps support the channel. Not a big commission. Don't get me wrong. I don't make too much money off this, but it does help keep the lights on, and I do appreciate it, as always. So we're loading Time Spy here. Again, this is the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5080, 175 watts here, and let's see how this performs on the Time Spy test here on 3D Mark. So Alienware Aurora, will you do that? Yeah, as soon as I get that, I spoke to Alienware about it. So that would be another line as well that they're coming out with that I think will be less. I think that will be less expensive in some ways than this one, but will be very, very capable as well. I got a sneak peek on some stuff. I will do them, Suraj. So stay tuned. Now the screen, I don't have the metro. Well, I think it gets about 500 nits, but I gotta check. I'll have to do my measurements when I do the full review. But eyeball test. The display is pretty bright. I gotta say, very good clarity, good brightness. Overall, looks like it's going to be a very good one. It looks to be color accurate, but again, I have to do my measurements with my colorimeter and all that stuff, so we'll get an analysis there. But so far, the eyeball test, it passes it with flying colors. No pun intended. Everything very smooth, as you can see on this Time Spy test here on 3D Mark. Fans are, again, consistently 65, 66 decibels, but not getting overly hot. In fact, what I should do, probably when we run the next one, I will bring out my thermal camera and we can measure the surface temperatures as well while we're pushing this under load. So let me turn that on. Actually, we could just see what it is right now. So far, the power charger, the brick, is not heated up all that much at all. In fact, it stayed pretty cool so far. So the keyboard is very cool. They're doing a good job so far. The surface temperatures where you place your fingers. The vent, you're looking at about 45. This is not bad at all for what's going on right now. Let's check out the underside, how that window is doing there. Okay, so let's turn this around. You can see it there. So far, very cool. Good job. Nothing too hot here. This is all cool. The glass is cool. Pretty nice. RAM is not soldered. It is upgradable. So far, the thermals are looking good. And the brick is not heated up at all. I should have measured that, but we could do that later. This is the back of the unit, and I feel the venting here. The air is being blown out through the side vents there, and on the back, the two vents over here. I feel it. So they're doing a good job with the airflow here. And then it has this glass there. I don't know what the purpose of that is. I have to look into that. But so far, the thermals, the cooling solution seems to be working very well. Good idea. Compare plugged versus unplugged. I think most people will use it plugged, but we can do that. Is there any noticeable black backlight bleed? I don't see any, actually. Wow. So this is the Time Spy score. So this should be around this area, I think, with a 5080. Again, this is also available in a 5090, but let me take my screenshot. All right. And let's go to, let's do Wildlife Extreme. This is a quick one here. I want to get that one done real quick. I'll test the games and all that, obviously, for the full review. But we just got it out of the box. But let's at least get some of these benchmarks done so we can get an idea of what we're dealing with. Definitely a machine that lives tied to the wall wart 99% of the time. And that's, I think, how most people use it. But it's portable enough to take with you. It's what you're willing to accept as an acceptable weight. I would take it, but again, I'm more of a portable kind of guy, so I would probably take something like the G14, the Zephyrus G14, which I think is pretty portable for a gaming laptop. You do sacrifice some things, obviously, for the form factor, but I think they did a pretty good blend there between power and performance and portability. And something like the G16 from the Zephyrus line as well will be a portable version of a 16-inch gaming laptop, more portable than this. Although you're going here for more power, performance over portability. But it's still portable enough is what I'm trying to say. But I think, like Blue Streak says, I think 99% of the people will be plugging this in most of the time. Now, I don't think anybody's buying this for the battery life, but of course I'll test that. I'd be shocked if it went more than a couple of hours on battery when you're gaming, but of course we'll have to test that. And here we have our Wildlife Extreme score, which is obviously what we would expect in this class of GPU and this class of device. Let me validate that. Okay. Let's do one more, but before we do that, actually, yeah, let's just do the Fire Strike real quick, and then we'll go from there. And this will be I want to do the speedometer test, see how that's going to do. Speedometer 3.1. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's get this spread out over YouTube. We're also streaming on X, formerly known as Twitter. So, just hit the like button, hit the heart button, whatever it is. Let's get it spread out. Now, this past week, I did a bunch of stuff. We did the two Surface devices, the Surface Pro 12-inch and the Surface Laptop 13-inch. I'll have full reviews on those the next few days. So I've been working them. Spoiler, excellent battery life. Video playback I've been seeing consistently on both. Over 22, 23 hours, almost 24 hours on the laptop. I think 22, 23 hours on the Surface Pro 12, which is pretty impressive for the form factor and size of battery. Performance is what you'd expect. I mean, it's not going to be a powerhouse with the Snapdragon X Plus 8-core processor, the 42100. But I think for everyday use, it's going to be fine. And the battery has been phenomenal. The displays are not going to be as good as their bigger siblings. We'll talk about that, but they're good nonetheless. These are definitely a step up over a Surface Laptop Go in terms of quality. These are all metal, so we'll talk about that. I also got the Lenovo Yoga Book 9i. I did my unboxing on that. That thing has been a major revision now with 14-inch dual OLED displays. They're now 120 hertz, so there is a big upgrade in the displays. There's the improved ergonomics, the better keyboard design. It is now magnetic. It also is backlit, so it's magnetic when you're carrying it in the origami style stand, which folds up to cover the keyboard. We'll talk more about that. And it is backlit, like I said. So a lot of improvements there. It's got a bigger battery. We'll test battery life and all that. But so far, that is what we're seeing on that. So we got a lot of stuff here. I still have more stuff I got to get to. I also got the Dell XPS. No, that's gone. The Dell Pro 14 Premium, which I did, remember? But I did it with the Full HD IPS display. Well, great news. I got the tandem OLED, and oh my God, that thing is absolutely gorgeous. I'm looking at it in the background right now. So stay tuned. I will have a video on that. And tandem OLED on that one. Dell Pro 14 Premium. and in the tandem OLED touchscreen display. Absolutely gorgeous. It's bright, it's sharp. It's probably one of the nicest displays I've seen. So I will have that. It takes the Dell Pro 14 Premium, already great laptop, to an even better level. We'll talk about that. And then I also have a bunch of other stuff. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Hope I'm not rambling on too much. If not, just turn me off. That's all. Or mute me as we're waiting for this Firestrike score here. As we are now approaching 42, 43 minutes into this live stream. And for those joining us late, let me bring up the specs. If you didn't see it, I'll let it run here so you can see what we're actually testing and looking at right now. Not cheap, but Alienware is more for enthusiasts, I think. So very serious gamers are going to look at these, and they have no problem paying for the premium quality. This is a redesign here for 2025, and you can get it with what we have here, the Cherry MX ultra low profile mechanical keyboard with the per key Alien FX lighting. This is the 5080 version. You can get it the 5070 Ti, or also can go up to a 5090. So those are your options. Now you can get it, order it now. It'll come sometime second week June, looking like it's June 12th. When I did my screenshot the other day, I don't know if that's changed. Of course, check the link in the description below. But that is the specs. All right, we should be soon. We'll be getting our result, but let's let it run. So far, it's looking pretty good. This is an absolutely gorgeous design. Let me know what you think about this teal color. The lighting, I think, is perfect here. This is not over-the-top lighting. I think it's the kind of lighting that I'm into. So this, see, I don't love lighting and all that. I always turn it off. But this, I would actually keep it the way it is. I think it looks pretty good. The blue backlight here is just perfectly done. It's got a lit-up touchpad, which is all controlled, by the way, in the Command Center, Alienware Command Center, so you can control that. So that's all there. I think overall it's pretty nice. It's got grills here. It's got grills there. You can see top down. Those have accent lighting as well. I think the overall design is beautiful. I really think they hit a home run. Now, of course, that's purely subjective. You let me know what you think in the comment section below or in the chat if we're live here. But if you're watching this on the replay, let us know. Yeah. So according to Thomas, he was waiting for my review and MASH IT. I will be getting the Area-51 16-inch model with the 5090. We'll also be getting this 16-inch version of the Area-51, more portable comparison to the 18. So this is going to be more portable, although it does have some heft, but it will be more portable than the 18-inch. But of course, the 18-inch has its advantages, having a bigger chassis and a bigger display. So there's always going to be some trade-off. One of the few gamer laptops I don't hate the looks of on site, thanks to the limited RGB vomit. I agree, Blue Streak. I agree. William says, no doubt, a nice-looking PC. Port layout is very good. Appears to be a very fast-performing PC. And judging by these numbers, folks, yes, you are correct, William. Performance is looking really good. Again, you could also get this with a 5090. We have the middle ground here. We have the 5080. And I think most people will be perfectly fine with the 5080. As you can see, these are very good scores. All right, let's go into Chrome here, and let me go to speedometer 3.1. So let's start the test, and let's see how that's going to do. You should plug into a power station. The power station, EA, the Blue Ledi, will tell you what actual wattage. You know, William, I forgot about that. I wanted to look into that. So thank you for reminding me. I will look into that. Shabab, I don't know, as soon as I get that from HP. And we got a 38.9. Let me take the screenshot of that. All right. So that is some of the benchmarks. Now, let's take a look at this 4K camera. Let me turn off this overdrive mode because the fans are pretty loud. 5080 on this one. Yes, Raphael. So it's pretty loud. So let me load in And let me put it into a more balanced mode that's going to be a little bit more reasonable if this is loading in now. Waiting. Meanwhile, while we're waiting for that, I can bring up the camera. 4K. It is an IR camera as well. Okay, so here it is. Let's go into balance mode. I just put it into the balance mode. And right away, fans died down. Okay, so this is the 4K camera. That looks pretty good. Let me see what the resolution. This is the Windows app, so this might only go up to 1440p, but this is a 4K camera, so I don't know if they have their own camera app. I have to look into that, but this is pretty darn good. What do you think about it? And I'll test the microphones and all that, but this is pretty good. No fan noise right now, by the way. Looking really good. Now, of course, it has the studio effects here. It has the auto framing, the eye contact, background blur, standard blur, and then, of course, the portrait blur. And I think it looks pretty good. And this is no blur. This is a really nice camera. I'm surprised. Probably one of the nicest cameras I've ever seen them put in a gaming laptop. I don't think we've seen it this good before. I could be wrong, but this might be the best one so far. So let me know. Camera looks good. Contrast is very good, according to William. Yeah, I agree. I think it looks great. So good job at Alienware for putting in such a great camera. Nice. And this is something that's normally an oversight on most gaming laptops, 99% of them. Camera's always the last to be thought of and any kind of resources put into it. They did a fantastic job here. So I would have no problem using this for my video conferencing. So you can make this your everyday laptop. There's no doubt about it, especially when you're doing video editing and stuff like that. This definitely can do it. Pretty good. As soon as I get that from Dell, I will be doing a Dell Pro Max 16. We have that coming, so stay tuned. All right, that is the camera. Great job. Great job. All right, let's listen to the audio. Let me unplug this for now from the dock. We don't need that. I want to hear the audio, so let me put it on me for a second as I load in Epidemic Sound. So these are going to have 8 watts of total power, 2 woofers, 2 tweeters, each 2 watts. So total of 8. So let me 8 watts. Let me go to Epidemic Sound, and we're going to get a listen to the sound over here. So one of the things, again, besides the camera that's pretty much overlooked on 99% of the gaming laptops, is also, in addition to that, is the sound, which has always been an afterthought, in my opinion. But hopefully this is going to be good. So let's give it a listen. Let me load in a saved song here, and let's go to Never Meant to Be, and we can do another one after that. All right, so let's do top down here, and let me bring out my sound meter. Okay, and let's give it a listen. We move these wires out of the way, but if they want to cooperate here. Okay, there we go. It's good enough. Almost. There we go. All right, let's give it a listen. Let me make sure the volume's on 100%. Volume buttons are over here. So let's move that up. And by the way, you have a row to mute the microphone, volume up and down, mute, and then, of course, the arrow keys there. So there, for those wondering. 100%. Let's change microphones, and let's give it a Okay, what do you think? What do you think? I actually think it's pretty loud. Now, I think that it sounds pretty good. Maybe a little bit more bass, but I have to play with some of the equalizer settings. I don't know what it has. I haven't had a chance, maybe in the Alienware, but I'll have to look into that. I think the sound is good, William. I agree. I think the sound is very good. So, couple of things observations here. The sound is excellent. The camera is outstanding. These are not normally things I would say for gaming laptops. That's what makes it so shocking in a lot of ways. The absolute great design here. I think Alienware, the team, did an outstanding job. They knocked it out of the park. Look at that. That thing is absolutely freaking gorgeous. I really do love this design. I mean, look at this. This thing is a beauty. They've gone back to basics in a lot of ways, and that's a good thing. They didn't go over the top with the lighting or anything like that. To me, that's a huge win. I love this laptop. I'm really liking it so far, to be honest with you. And judging by the numbers, yeah, 5080. This is what we'd expect, right? You could go to a 5090, but I don't know if you necessarily need to spend the extra money for the 5090. We can price them out, of course, but we can also take a look at how much that 5090 will cost. So let me plug that in. And let's take a look at it together. So let's go to the pricing points here. And let me go here. And let me go to Alienware. So let's see. So let's shop Alienware. And let's go to the laptops. Let's view the laptops. So let's go. So here are the two lines. We got Area-51 and then we got Aurora. Aurora will be for top tier gaming versatility. So this is going to be a little bit more affordable, I think. And then, of course, I think this is going to be their flagship. So Area-51 comes in an 18-inch and in a 16-inch. Let's choose the 16 for now. So, the base model will start at $3,000, right? So it gets you the same processor, the Core Ultra 9, 275HX, 24 cores, RTX 5080, 32, 1 terabyte, 16-inch QHD plus display. Oh, I want to check out the storage here, see what we have on that. So we probably should do that next, and then maybe we'll wrap it up there. I don't know. And then you can go up to 64 gigabytes. Price goes up from there. That's for this. That's going to get you the 5080, and then the 5090, 36, 49.99. And then, of course, they all have the same display. So it's just a matter of the different GPU and the different amount of storage and RAM, which are upgradable. So that is the 16-inch. Now, the 18-inch starts at $3,200 for the 5080, and then can go up to all the way up to a 5090, and that's going to be $3,749. So I think these are in line for the quality that we're seeing here. And these are the going rates, right? So I don't think these are anything over the top, not cheap, but they've never been cheap, right? So just keep that in mind. I'm not defending them. I'm just saying this is the reality we're living in right now. All right, so I also have the crystal disk mark test here. Let me load that in here. I want to see the storage here. And what we have here is the 1 terabyte, right? But once we open it up, and I don't know if we're going to open it up now, but we'll probably open it up for the full review because we're running out of time. We're already at almost an hour, and I wanted to keep it at hour or less. But it is upgradable storage. And the good news is it's fast storage, as you can start seeing the reads and writes. But again, user upgradable. And hopefully there'll be 2 slots there. I don't know if there's 2 slots. Probably there is, but we'll have to check. Again, I can't confirm that just yet. But also upgradable RAM. There's 2 sticks in here, but you can go to 32 and 32. You can get 64 as an option here. And you could probably go beyond that on your own, but that's what you can order here now. And then that is pretty good. What I also like is the fact that this has Thunderbolt 5, right? So we saw that on the MacBooks, the MacBook Pros rather, and we saw that on the Mac Studio, I think, or the Mac Mini with the M4 Pro. That one had the Thunderbolt 5. And now we have Thunderbolt 5 here on this really nice gaming laptop. So it's good to have Thunderbolt 5. As we'll see more things take advantage of the Thunderbolt 5 technology. All right, let's get these scores going in here. And so far, good read on that 1 terabyte. Okay, one could look at it as this way. If you're going to spend so much, you might as well go for the 5090. I mean, you're right. And there's one thing, yeah, you could. And it really, if you think about it, but I don't know if you're going to get that much of a gain for for the difference of price is what I'm trying to say. But if you're going to go that far, yeah, might as well just go all in, right? Do the USB ports allow you to charge this at a slower rate? I believe so. I would have to check the wattage, but these are Thunderbolt. These should be full function. They're Thunderbolt 5, so it should support it. And we can probably unplug it and check it out. In fact, let me unplug this one. Let's see here. And I have my Thunderbolt dock here. So this is it. Everything's falling. This is Thunderbolt. And let's see. Let's plug it in here. Well, actually, right now it's on a Thunderbolt dock. So it is charging. It is showing as being charging. So you can look in the lower corner. I don't need to plug that in. I dropped everything for no reason. It is showing in the corner there. So you can see right there. And it is plugged in. So right now it's charging via the Thunderbolt 5. So that answers that question, William, as I destroyed my whole table here off camera. All right. Good way. Good things. Good news. As typical as what I'm a klutz. What can I tell you? All right. We're waiting for this score. We're at almost an hour. 6185 so far, 4800. So pretty fast. Obviously fast enough. We've gotten so fast with these drives at this point. No issues there. Hold on. I'm all confused here. Okay, so that's what I wanted to do. All right. And then you can see here, we're getting our results soon. All right, let me know what you think about all this, people. What do you think about it? So my overall takeaway is this is really, really good. Again, the design to me is stunning. I was expecting this to be really nice, and I did get a look at it back in January when they did their preview. But I got to tell you, having this in person here, handling this, I got to say, it does show some fingerprints, but absolutely gorgeous teal color. I didn't realize how good, because it's hard, in the lighting and these kind of events and so forth, hard to really get a grasp of what it actually looks like until you get it hands-on, and that's exactly the deal. No problem, William. It's okay. Everything. It's just a charger, the 360 watt, 1 kilogram charger, 2.2 pounds. It just fell on my floor. I hope it didn't break anything, but that's a big brick, basically. This is how far back it goes. Okay, that's how far back it goes. And we could probably open it up in the full review. I'm not going to open it up now. We're running out of time. But that's the score here. Let's take a look at it. And let me take my screenshot. Anything else, people? I think that's it, right? I think we covered the bases here. We tested the gaming. Well, yeah, we did with the 3D Mark. Of course, I need to do all the games. I got to load in Steam and all that, and I got to do all that stuff. So that takes time, obviously, setting up the games to test. That I'm going to work on all day today. We have tested the display here. If you want to take a look at it here, again, QHD Plus, 2560 by 1600. It is a IPS display, and I'm kind of glad they went with this kind of matte finish, so you don't get a lot of glare and reflection. Sound is excellent. Camera's outstanding. Nice touchpad that lights up here. The overall quality, the build, it's really, it's all metal. It's all rock solid. And then, of course, we have the bottom of this unit, which has this glass window, like a Gorilla Glass window here, and that gives you a peek into the internals. Just an overall design aesthetic that looks absolutely gorgeous, in my opinion. Let me know what you think about the design. If you're watching this on the replay, leave a comment in the comment section below. But if you're watching this live, leave it now. But speaking of which, I think it's time to call it a live stream. I want to thank the moderators for doing such a great job. And I want to thank everybody who contributed via comments and questions today. I really do appreciate it. So until next time, this is Andrew, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.